So hello everybody, and thank you for joining me again here at The Good Life. Listen, I'm Steve and life is good down here. So I'm a little bit late getting this video out to you guys. I've been, well, it's been kind of busy down here. So here's what I'm going to do. Typically when you see people, these YouTube content creators, I guess that's what I am now. When they do like a feature or a tour of an apartment or something like that, they'll give you one at a time. Well, since I am late and you've been patient, I'm going to go ahead and do two this time. So you deserve it. I mean, you've been patient and you've subscribed to the channel. So thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, guys. I want you to know how much I really, really appreciate that. But again, I'm Steve. This is A Good Life. Let's go. Alrighty, so like I said, we're gonna do two of them today. Oh, here I am over here. Yeah, kind of smallish and in the corner. Looks kind of busy. I got to figure out a better way to lay this out, but we're doing it on the fly. And I'm not like a professional YouTuber. I'm just sharing the journey, okay? And speaking of sharing the journey, I'm not a real estate agent, but I have contacts of a couple of real estate agents that I can share with you. One of them is representing each of these properties that you see here. The one up on the upper left, that's Lavera. It's a pretty expansive project, still under construction. They've only finished phase one. They're moving into phase two. People are beginning to move into it. And then we have a Torre Real 8. So this is their 8th project. It just finished up several months ago as I moved in. I'm the first person into this place, and we have a new one that's available here. So I'm going to share that with you too. Since you guys have, so many of you have found me as a result of the video that I did on my own residence here. Something like, I don't know, hundreds of you have subscribed as a result. I want to thank you for that. I'm assuming that since you subscribed as a result of that video, I mean, a few of you didn't like it, but what are you going to do? I can't please everybody. But since you subscribed as a result of that video, I am assuming, and you can let me know if I'm wrong, that you want to kind of stay in that price range if you're considering making your home here in the Dominican Republic, and you like that kind of style of living. So there is less expensive and there's more expensive. So let me know what you're interested in. But anyway, this is the one on the lower right, the sort of tannish and white color one. That's where I live. And the other one is where I might end up living because it's got a few more amenities that I don't have here. So anyway, well, you know what I hate? I hate when people do a video on an apartment or something like that, or a house, and they wait to the very end to give you the price. But the price is what sells. So don't have me looking at something for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then I get to the end and say, well, that's not what I can't afford that. So I'm going to give you what the cost of these things are right now. So let me find that. Cost to live. There we go. So I'm going to fade this over right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the camera here, because you don't need to see me. It's about the numbers, right? So these things, both of these units are renting for 35,000 pesos. And at today's exchange rate, so if you look at this 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years from now, it may not be the same. But currently, as of January, what is today's date? The 13th, 2026, it's $549. Electricity, and this is what I'm paying each month. And so yours are going to be similar. If it's a little bit off, don't call me. Okay. But electricity, $13, gas, $17, water, $6. Internet and phone in my residence is $50 per month. That's for 5G. So I get 5G and I also have a second band of 2.4G. And then cell phone for my plan is $17. This comes to about $650 per month. So yeah, that's what it costs to live here in the DR. That's what I'm paying. So let's go ahead and take a look at Lavera first, because, well, I think the second one is sort of a treat. Because like I say, normally we do, one of these things at a time. So let's go ahead and fade over to that. And what we're going to do is we're going to start our stroll into the building. Now, we're going to be looking at building 6 here. This is where the unit is. It is on the 8th floor, and being on the 8th floor gives you a pretty good view of the sunset and all that. Now, I'm pausing it here because I'm not going to walk through this door right now. You see that little keypad, that black keypad on the left with the blue LCD screen. The my agent has already left. We toured the apartment. I videotaped it, but then after he left, I thought I need to tour the grounds. So as in doing so, I wanted to show you how you actually walk into the building. But the door is locked. However, as I was walking around, I saw where there was a building where the door was open because the guys were there working on it. They let me walk through and record the entrance. And as you can see, the door is open. And so we're going to just walk right on in here. We got something else going on here. Let me get rid of that stuff on the bottom. There we go. Get out of there. Okay, so we're going to get on the elevator. Now, I'm not considering a building with more than 2 stories that doesn't have an elevator. Okay, I don't want to be running up and down eight flights of stairs, or even 3, which is where I am right now. But as the elevator opens, as you can see, it's not all junky and torn up and thrown, tossed out or whatever. But we're going to go on up to the 8th floor. Let's take a look at that. Now, I personally live currently on the 3rd floor, not in this building, but in the one I'm going to show you in a minute. But as you exit the elevator, as you can see, people still have some of their Christmassy stuff up, and there is number 805. That's what we're going to take a look at. Coming back around again, we're going to take a look at 805. The door's open, and this is how the realtor led me in. So we enter here. There's like a little place you can put like a coat tree or for your coat hangers and that kind of stuff. We have 8 or 9 foot ceilings in this particular unit, so that's a good thing. As you can also see, the windows are tinted, so since sometimes it gets pretty hot down here. It hasn't gotten hot for me as far as I'm concerned, but some people feel it's pretty warm. They tint the windows, and also this faces the west. But we're going to go out there toward the end of viewing this particular unit. So the sun sets on this side of the building. I actually like the sunset. I want to get a little bit higher elevation in whichever building I choose to stay in long term. If I've only been here for less than a year, I may move up here or choose another place. Who knows? But I want a higher elevation so I can see the sunset. Okay. But anyway, we're going to swing this booger around. We'll go back out there in a little bit. Now, this room is about a 14 by 16, just so you know. If we back this up, you're going to see the kitchenette kind of area there. And so also you see the entrance that we just walked through. Now, what I like about this particular unit that I didn't get where I am now, when you get an unfurnished apartment down here or home, you won't have a stove. Okay, I had to buy a stove, a refrigerator, microwave, and everything else that I needed in my kitchen. In this particular one, you won't need to buy a stove or a range so that you have an oven. You won't need to buy a venter hood. Now, to the left, you can see that little cubby that sits back. That's where the refrigerator go, and then of course you can see the sink there. Also, that little black thing on the wall to the left, that's the intercom system that goes out to the gate. We'll take a look at where the guard gate is in just a moment. Again, your refrigerator goes right here, but back here you have more storage because you don't have a large kitchen, so you can do shelving and that kind of thing. But right there is where you would put your stackable washer and dryer. Now, if you've seen the video that I've done on my particularly apartment, you'll see that I have a stackable too. That's kind of the way you go here because well, you're just not going to have a room for a side by side. A little sink there for washing stuff. I don't know what that is sitting there on top, but this particular unit has been lived in, and so it has not been cleaned yet. So you'll want to make sure that gets done before you moved in. Now, what I want to show you here is something else that I wish that was in my apartment when I moved in. That is an inverter. What this does is, if you are familiar or if you know anybody who has lived in developing countries, in the Caribbean, in Central America, like, from Mexico all the way down to Argentina, I'm guessing they are going to have occasionally power outages. And we get them, quite frequently here. What this does is it kicks in and it provides power to your home after the power goes out or when the power goes out. When the power comes back on, it just charges this thing so that it always has a charge and that your home is always powered. And that's very, very important for those of us who work online and that kind of thing. Hot water. Now, I don't know why anybody would consider cold showers, but I don't like doing cold showers. And actually, guys, most people on the planet don't have hot water. They take cold showers. So anyway, 5 burner up stove there, stove top, and an oven and a venta hood is there. You don't have to go out and buy those. So that'll save you a little bit of money for setup. Speaking of money, when I shared that information with you guys earlier about cost, that's the cost just, to get by. Okay. What your cost of living is going to be, it's going to be different. It's going to be more probably. Anyway, we have a hall bathroom here, full bath, with shower, seats, guys. Put down the seats. I should have put that seat down before I filmed this. But anyway, hello, how you doing? That's me. And so there's your hall bathroom for if you're moving down with children or if you have guests who visit you, that's what bathroom that they would use. And of course, the windows again are tinted. They believe in tinted windows down here. Tell you what, the cars are so tinted you couldn't drive them in the U.S. You'd get pulled over. That's the view from the 8th floor. Those particular buildings there, I'm gonna drive over there. I want to go through that guard gate right there on the lower left. It's unmanned right now because it's all under construction. There are a few people who live there. It might have like 1 or 2% occupancy right now because where I'm standing now in this phase 1, it's pretty much done. I think they have one. The guy says they have one more that is furnished. I didn't even think to ask him how much it runs, but anyway, you can find that out. I will give you the people's name who you can contact if all you do is just hit me up in my email, and you'll see the email to reach me is on the homepage to this YouTube channel. Just click on where it says more, and you'll see email address. Send that to me and say, hey, listen, send me the real estate agent for the first video or the first apartment complex or the second one. You choose. Don't matter to me. Anywho, let's turn it on around here, and we can see we have ample closet space for your guests or for your children. See that old hanger in there? Like I said, this place, they don't actually clean them until after they know that somebody's going to move in them, which is kind of odd to me. I think you would get more money if you would clean it first. Like if you're going to sell a car, again, you would get more money if you clean it first rather than showing someone a dirty car. But that's just my way of thinking. Maybe it's a cultural thing. There's your second bedroom and closet. Now let's go into the primary bedroom, and we'll take a look at that door right there. That's the half bath. So this has 2.5 baths. I only have 2 baths. So this has one more bathroom also. Again, these bedrooms are about 12 by 14, if I'm not mistaken. That thing that I'm showing you here, that's for air conditioning. So if you want to put an air conditioner in your bedroom, it's already there. If you don't, just tell them you don't want it, and they can close that up so that it's not hanging out of the wall. Bathroom for the primary has 2 sinks for his and hers, but I think it would have been a better idea to just have 1 sink and more vanity top, because you know how women need vanity top space with all the products they have. Actually, some of you guys do too. So while I'm talking crazy, So that's what's going on with that. This will get us out of here. Let's take a look outside the window. If you have children, I would strongly urge you to put screens in the windows. They don't do screens very much down here. I've not seen them, but I know a place where you can get them. If you're a little bit handy, you can just make the screen up. I mean, it's just plastic and that. So you can do it with scissors and a good steak knife. It's just that simple. Anywho, master or primary bedroom closet, guys, if you have a woman, that's her closet. That's her closet. You got to go find space in another bedroom closet because she's going to take all of that. Half bath for your guests, which I think is cool because a lot of times, you don't want your I know you don't want people visiting you using your bathroom in your primary ensuite. So you got that. Now we're going to take a look outside. When you get out there, you have a nice view. Now what you're looking at there is more construction. So looks like they're going to take all of that down. Hopefully they won't get rid of too many of the trees there. So construction is continuing. You can see the huge construction site over there. You see that white car. You see that little piece of yellow equipment. Looks like a front end loader. We're going to pull up and I'm going to turn around right there, and you'll see all the men. They'll be all sitting out there. I think it was around lunchtime, I guess, whenever I got there. But I didn't go all the way to the back. I just went in, turned around, and came out. I didn't want to get a flat tire because when you go on construction sites, they have nails and bolts and that kind of stuff laying around. But when you swing this way, you are facing the west. Okay, right there. So the sun sets right about here. If I'm not mistaken, I downloaded a compass to my phone so I can make sure I'm facing west, because I'm really looking for myself also, because my lease is expiring in a couple of months. And if they want to go up an extraordinary, well, more than that, I think they should, then I will vacate the premises. But so I'm looking also. So I want a place that's it's up higher that faces the west, and this faces the west. Now, you see that lower building that you're looking at there? You got some taller ones in the background, but you have one, actually two. You can't see the second one, but the one that you can see with that's white with a little dark roof on it, that is Lavera's business office. So I guess you could pay your rent or whatever and that kind of stuff there. This is what the realtor was telling me. To the right of that building, you can barely see the top of it, is the gym. And we're going to go there in just a minute, but you've got such a canopy, almost like jungle-like canopy down here, where it never gets cold. So green just takes over. There is a gym there. So we're going to go take a look at that in a little bit. But for now, this is what it looks like. So you can sit out here and relax and yeah, enjoy your wine as the sun goes down. Now, exiting the building. All right. So as you walk out the building here, you're going to see, well, that's my car and the realtor's car. He pulls off and leaves in just a moment. But I want to just show you how massive these buildings are. They're huge. These are 10-story buildings. Now, they have taller ones. If you want 20 stories, we got that too. And there's the gate that I showed you from above. We're going to go through that in just a moment. The reason I'm walking around here, I want to show you this, is there's like a walkway that I'm walking on. There you go. I'm on it now. That sort of meanders through the complex. And so I wish I had that here, so that, you know, maybe when you get done having dinner, you know, maybe you don't really feel like a full-blown workout, you can just go out and get a good walk on, keep you from, you know, gaining extra weight after you have a meal. You know, because you know how it is sometimes you eat a meal and you just feel like, you know, you just want to pass out and get some sleep. Well, if you go out and have a walk, a good walk, that doesn't necessarily happen as much. You know what I mean? So that's just here for you. See the kids running around. They make space for the children here, and you'll see that a little bit later in the video. But building 6 is the building that you see there on the left. You can see the number 6 as we're getting closer to it. But yeah, this walkway is probably about a quarter mile. So a couple of times around, you know, give you a half mile, but I would do, you know, 6 or 8 times. More like, I like to do like 3 miles. So I'd have to go around like 12 times if I just want to stay there. But you can walk outside of the complex too. There's a good area, space outside. And I'm going to show you that too toward the end of this particular tour. But we're going to head on down here. People do drive, you know, relatively nice cars down here. So don't think that everybody down here is making $300-400 a month. There are a lot of people here. Because look, if you're making $300-400-500 a month, you can't afford to live here, and they don't seem to have a problem filling these places up. So there's no shortage of people who can afford to live here. You see the benzos over there on the left. I just passed those. But we're going to turn right and go up these stairs here as we head over to the gym. Remember the canopy of trees and that kind of thing that we saw, right? Oh, there's J-Lo's car. Remember that car J-Lo did in the commercial was a Fiat, that little bitty thing there? How long do you think J-Lo stayed in that car after the commercial was done? You know she was dying to get out of that thing because she's too bougie for that. Anyway, another nice Hyundai. So what you're looking at there, that building directly in front of you, that's the gym. So you don't have to go upstairs or anything like that. In the complex that I'm in, some of you guys may have ambulatory issues and you may not be able to walk upstairs quite as easily. So you might not want to, you might want something that's sort of on the, you know, that doesn't challenge you too much. You know what I mean? And I get that. So that's why I bring that up. But if we continue, there's a building to the left, and that is going to be the, there it is. You can barely see it. There it is, Lavera. So that is the business office. So you can go and handle your business there if you need to. But let's take it on in. Now, where I am right now, I'm standing in the middle of like the Pilates room. The guys said they do Pilates and aerobics and that kind of stuff. And so they had some like those roll up kind of Pilates things on the floor to the right. I didn't record those. I didn't think to do so. But that's what that is. And then you got the guy walking backwards on the treadmill. Now, he didn't turn the lights on here, and I don't know why. I guess he likes working out in the dark. I don't know, because the fans are up there. They're running. They have lights on them. But you have all the equipment. There's a realtor right there. So if you want, I can give you his name and number. But you have also free weights over here on the right, and you can look at yourself work out depending on your level of narcissism. But there you go. And there's yours truly in the blue. So, but yeah, you have all of this to work out with if you want to. You have treadmills, you have the bicycles and ellipticals, more free weights right here. And then as you go straight ahead, on the left, I think it's the ladies' room. On the right is the men's room. That's all there is to that. And so we will, yeah, there you go. You guys should go there. Don't go left, guys. You don't want to get jammed up down here. So we're back out on the premises now. And like I said, this is actually directly behind Building 6. So if you were on the opposite side of the building, yeah. So remember, we went into we went in the door. The door was on the left. There was another one on the right. If you went in on the right, your view would be of what you're looking at here, the pool and all of that. Okay. But I don't, like I said, I want to see the sunset. So I like sunsets. So there you go. Another thing, we're going to go to the pool, but right now I want to pause it because I can't actually get all the way to the pool. I'm going to give you guys a glimpse of it. It is behind this row of shrubs right here that you see in front of me or in front of you. If you look down to the bottom, you can see it's a little bit blue. That's the pool. So we're going to turn left. You see that sidewalk there. We're going to turn left and go up the sidewalk and around the bend, and here we go. The shrubs are all around us. Kind of a nice kind of, walk as you go there. They do a good job of maintaining the grounds. I kind of like that. No trash and paper and bottles and all that kind of stuff thrown around. It's very, very well kept. So I like that. But like I say, I couldn't get to the pool because the realtor had left after I decided to record this. So all I could do is reach my phone over the tree and give you guys a glimpse, but that's all I can get. Sorry. So we're back toward the front. So there's a second place for the kids to play. As you can see, the cars pulling in the gate. But also for those of you who are eco-friendly or eco-conscious, you can plug your electric cars up right there and charge them while you are home. And or you can sit there and watch your kids play while your cars are charging. That's on you. I don't have any small children. Even my grandchildren are pretty big now. So, but one of the reasons I wanted to come over here and show you this is this area right here. This is called the plant. So like I said, sometimes there are power outages. And so when that occurs, the building's main electricity will continue to run. The hallway lights and all that stuff will come on. The elevators still work. Everything works. All the lights on the property, in the parking lot and all that stuff. That is what this does. It powers all of that. And then that inverter powers your own residence. Does that make sense? And as you can see, it's gated. So you're not going to just roll up in here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's gated. And then the buildings are whatchamacallit, they're locked also or secured also. So we're going to head out of here and we're pulling out. And it seems like it always rains when I want to do a recording of me driving. When I went to the grocery store, it was raining. Remember that? And this lady's out. She has her nanny with her. It's a big thing to have nannies down here. This is a rainy, wet day. That's why the cars are all mushy. But nannies seem to be a big thing down here. People seem to, and it's probably pretty cheap. You could probably get a nanny for a few $100 a month, right? So. And I think that's why a lot of people move outside of the country, particularly as they are aging, because they could afford care in their own residence. But anyway, we're going to pull on out here. It says here for us to stop, but he saw me coming and went ahead and opened the gate. And if you were to turn right, you would go out to the main drag. This boulevard here takes you out to the main drag. But we're going to hang a left here, and I'm going to just drive through the area that's being constructed right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Hang this left. And you see the buildings are on the right now. And there's a guard entry that's unguarded right now up here ahead of us. And we're just going to go right through that. And I just think that it is important for you to know that there is more coming. So if you don't get the one or two you're looking for, don't worry. Man, they've got so much coming. This place is under so much construction, all of Santiago. A buddy of mine said, man, they're gentrifying this place. And I hope that they don't do that. I hope that they don't displace the people that are already here. They somehow figure out a way to, facilitate a better way of living for the people who are already here. So maybe that can take place. Anyway, We're just going to pull up in here. Like I said, I'm going to pull up here in front of this building. I think there was a white car here whenever we were up on the balcony. But I'm just going to turn around right here. No real big deal. I just want to show you they're still working on the place. And yeah, the guys were all right there working. You can't really see them. They're sitting on like the wall below. But anyway, having lunch. But anyway, we were over there in those buildings, and now we're just going to head out of here. I think it's a really nice property, but maybe you don't want something this big, because it has this industrial look, and that this kind of look has become popular, particularly in Atlanta, where I'm from, Atlanta, Georgia. This industrial look, not sure how much I like it, to be honest. I like a more, I don't know, homely look, for lack of better words. But either way, it's what people like. It's what younger people like. And hey, I'm an old dude. I'm on my way out. They're on their way in. So they're going to cater to them before me. And I get it. No problem. So we're going to just keep it riding to the right here. That's the entrance to the unit that we just looked at, phase 1. Phase 2 is what we just left. Now, as we're pulling out here, and I go over the speed bump, speed breaker, whatever you want to call it, we're gonna hang a right into this little parking lot here, because I want you to see that there is more coming. Now, this looks like a drive-through of some type, maybe a bank, or maybe they're going to serve food. I don't know. But what you're going to see here is this business area, because it's a mixed-use community, and the way it's designed, the color palette and all that, I can't help but to believe that it's all being done by the same developer. Okay, so there are no cars in the parking lot. The place is wide open. Nobody's moved in yet because it's still under construction. So what do you think is going to happen in here? Probably hair salon, barbershop, ladies dress shop, restaurants, bakery, delicatessen, all of that kind of stuff. All the stuff that you might want to just walk outside of your place of residence and be able to walk out and maybe grab a sandwich, or maybe there'll be a place where you can go sit out and have a beer and listen to a little music and just kind of hang out, that kind of thing. I'm not sure. Don't know what's going to go in there because nothing's on the sign that you see there yet. But what I do know is that it's coming, and what you can rest assured of is that there's more development coming if you were to live in a place like this. I'm going to show you exactly where, approximately where it is on the map after we look at the second unit. But I'm pulling out of here and I'm turning right because I'm going to head home. But you can see, just a lot going on right there. More of these towers, as you can see, have already been completed or are still under construction. They're coming and they're coming and they're coming. And like I say, they don't seem to have a shortage of people who want to live here. So, and if you turn right there, you'll go down into another complex there. There was a sign right there that shows you, what's coming. Anyway, so the kids are getting out of school right now. You can see them all getting out of school right now. But as I'm driving along, I realized that, I need to get some gas. And there's a Shell gas station up here right on the right. So we're going to hang a right into the Shell, and we're going to see if we can fill our tank, because the last thing I want to do is run out of gas in a foreign country or have any issues. I'm in the left lane. I just realized that I'm going to have to drive like a Dominican and turn right from the left lane. But I did look in my rear view mirror a couple of times to make sure. But anyway, we got gassed up and we're going to head out of there. And all we're going to do is begin to drive and head over to where we started. Now, that is that unit. Let's see here. What we're going to do now, because the traffic is going to be pretty heavy. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so the traffic's pretty heavy. So that's Villarreal, or that's La Vera that you see on the left there. Now we're gonna go and we're gonna take a look at Torre Real number 8. So they have obviously 7 others of these things that they've put up. So we're gonna take a look at this one now. I'm not going to walk the premises on this one. You can take a look at that in the previous video that I did on my channel. And I think I called it my $600 residence or something like that. It's probably like 12 weeks old. I did a few months ago. So you can take a look at that if you want to see what the property looks like. I start out by showing you the property, and then I end by showing my actual apartment. So you don't have to watch all of it if you don't want to. You can just see what the gym looks like, what the pool looks like, and that kind of thing. But walking into the building here, we're going to be on the JK side on the right. We're just walking in the front door here. you'll see that someone's left the door open. That kind of frustrates me sometimes, but I just have to get used to it, I guess. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to consider a building that doesn't have an elevator. They do have 3 and 4 story buildings that are cheaper that you can get for like $200 and $300 a month. But you're gonna have to walk up and down the stairs. And I'm not interested in doing that. So we're gonna go up to the 6th floor here. These are, I think these are 7 or 8 story buildings. We're gonna hang a left here. The top floors in all these buildings are generally 2 stories. And we're going to take a look at J7 or J6 as we enter. I like these locks on here. These locks are not like the locks that we have typically in the U.S. These locks are a lot more fortified, and the doors are solid wood. So you're not going to just walk up in there. Again, we have 9-foot ceilings here and a pretty nice view outside. This faces west also. And the 6th floor is what I really wanted. Now, if you look there, you'll see the kitchen and all that. That's the same kitchen as I have, the same kitchen that I'm sitting in right now. Okay. And if you look at this wall here, I want to freeze it right here so that you get a feel for how large this room is. That wall that you see there from the door on the right to the corner on the left, that's 19 feet. Okay. So you can do quite a bit in 19 feet. And then from the right corner where we just left off, going past the kitchen to the wall on the left, which is the left side of the hallway wall, that is 17 feet. So you have a 19 by 17 foot living space there that you can most people do like a small dining area and then a larger like TV room kind of thing, whatever you want to do. All your appliances you will have to provide. So there's no stove and all of that kind of stuff in here. Now we're going to take a step out the back. This is I consider this like an emergency exit or whatever. But here's the thing, okay? Here's your water heater. So we have tankless water heaters over here, not the tank that you saw in the other one. But just below this on the ground, I didn't think to record it, but just below this on the ground or on the floor, or whatever you call it, there's nothing there right now as we're looking at it. I set my trash out every morning and around 8, 9 o'clock. At around 10 o'clock, it's sitting right there in a plastic bag. Don't just throw it out there, okay? Around 10 a.m., the guy comes and he takes my trash away, which I appreciate. I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't have to worry about, what I'm going to do with my trash. Okay, it's right there for me, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, I want to bring that to your attention because trash is something that you have to ask about. Let me back up. In the previous building in La Vera, they don't pick up your trash right here. They don't have, you don't see those large compactors like you will at apartment complexes in the U.S. In that building, they have a trash chute. So, we got off on one elevator and I said there's another one to the far left. There's 2 elevators in the building. There's a closet or like a little room you go in and there's a trash chute. So please put your trash in a plastic bag. Don't just throw loose trash down the trash chute. Put it in a plastic bag. It drops down, goes all the way down to the basement of the building, and the guys come and clean it out every day. So that's pretty cool too. But here they come around to each unit and just grab your trash so you can, every once in a while, I'll just leave the trash in a plastic bag. Well, I always leave it in a plastic bag, but I'll leave it in the trash can, tie it up. So he just has to reach in and pull it out and take it with him. But they'll do that here every morning at 10 a.m. and then again around 4. At this building, I don't know because it can't be at all buildings at the same time, right? Your washer and dryer will go right here. You can see your breaker panel to the left. So if you get an inverter, you will have to install it here yourself. There's not one here. It will probably go above the breaker, and then they will wire it to whichever breakers you want to have powered when your electricity goes out, because all inverters are not the same. They don't all have the same kilowatt power. So you might just want your living room where your TV and your internet and that kind of thing runs. So maybe your living room and your kitchen, bedrooms, don't worry about those so much. So you don't have to buy as big a converter, but that's on you. Okay. But washer and dryer goes here. Your sink for, doing whatever you're going to do. Your kitchen there, your microwave of mine anyway goes in that little cubby that you see right there. And my refrigerator goes right next to that. Stove and vent hood goes right in front of you, and I'm sitting right there by that telephone. So you kind of know how I'm oriented. And then there's it's pretty large living space, very large living space, as a matter of fact, and I am enjoying it. We'll go out on the deck in just a minute, but for now, let's go take a look at the primary ensuite bedroom. So as we walk into here, these bedrooms are about, I would say about 14 by 12, 12 by 14, something like that. So it will comfortably accommodate a queen bed, which is what I have. You could do a king, but it'll be a little bit tighter because your queen bed is going to be 5 feet wide. Okay, a king size bed is 12 more inches. It's 6 feet wide. They're all 6 feet long, or roughly 6'4", somewhere thereabouts. Right, so they're all the same length. The only difference is the width. Let's take a look at the bathroom. Same bathroom as mine. They don't, they don't do real elaborate bathrooms in these basic apartments. I do like the wall treatment that they have. But I don't think I have the same thing here. Oh, also, you didn't see a mirror in there. You got to put in your own mirror. This place has never been lived in, guys. And so as a result, when I walk in this closet, you're not going to see any shelving. Okay. And I'm surprised you even see a light fixture, a light bulb up there. Because when I moved in, there were no light bulbs, there were no shelving, there was nothing. It was bare bones. And when they say that it's unfurnished, they mean exactly that. You got to bring all your own toys. Bathroom, hallway bathroom, same as mine. Same towel on the wall. Everything's the same. I like those rain showers. They're kind of nice. Again, no mirror. Some people said they wish they had shown my other bedrooms. So I'm going to show you this one. They're both exactly the same. They're just walls, floors, and closet. That's it. Ceiling, floor, walls. That's it. That little thing you see sticking out of the wall over there on the upper right corner, that's where you would install the air conditioning system or unit if you want to put one in there. So that's what the doors look like when they're closed, and when they're open, they look like that. So again, ample space, but no shelving. So you're going to have that done. The guy that installed mine, I bumped into him yesterday. He's still working here. He didn't charge me very much at all. Labor's very inexpensive here. Linen closet, again, you're going to need shelves. He did all of my closets for me. I don't think he charged me $100 because I don't have any tools down here. I sold all my tools when I left the U.S. So anyway, we're back out into the general living quarters, if you want to call it that, living room, dining room, kitchen area. And we're going to go out onto the patio or onto the deck here. So here we go. So yeah. Nice view. Do have a building to get past as far as that's concerned. And those people in that building, they probably have a better view than you. But what I do like about this, if I will zoom in, out, whatever you want to call it, you got a better view. I don't know what I'm looking at there, but when we swing to the right, I know what I'm looking at. And that is, there we go. That is we'll just freeze it right here. Okay, so what we're looking at there is to the left. You see that tall thing? Looks like I don't know, what's sticking up, that pointy thing. That is the Monument of Heroes. I actually did a video from there. It's a huge tourist attraction. I did a video from there. You can go up, you can take the stairs up, which is what I did. I don't think I'll do that again. Or you can take the elevator, either one. But when you get to the top, there's two observations. There's one even higher. There's observation decks, and you can walk around and get a really good 360-degree look at what it looks like from a bird's eye view, with the bird's eye view of Santiago. And then around it, there are a lot of shops, and especially a lot of restaurants and bars, because people go there and hang out. They do a lot of stuff there on New Year's Eve. They were, it's like a big, what do you call it? Fireworks. They had, live bands and all that kind of stuff. Hundreds of people were out there hanging out, and nobody, started any trouble. It was cool. And then to the right of that I think is what is becoming downtown Santiago, because to the left of the monument, there's an area that they call, a city center or something like that, where, you see a lot of shops and stuff, but that's sort of old Santiago downtown. And to the right, what you're looking at is the new downtown Santiago. And that's just my verbiage. I don't think anybody else calls it that. Either way, that is what's coming. Well, actually, it's already here. And so, if you want a higher end living quarters, you want to live in an 18, 20-story building. You want nice or whatever. If this isn't what I showed you, it isn't nice enough, let me know, because that is where you're going to have to go to get it. Now, what I want to show you also is what it's like, or where these places are and where they are situated. So if you allow me, I'm going to do that. So here we go. There we go. So what we're looking at now is Google Maps. You've all seen that before, but I just want to kind of give you an understanding as to where, these places are situated relative to the general area of Santiago. All right. I don't know if you can see my cursor. My cursor is moving toward the bottom of the screen there. La Vera, the first place we looked at is down here. Okay. And just so you know, if you've ever been here before, excuse me, if you've ever been here before, you landed, you kind of know where the airport is down here. I want to move this over. There's the airport. So it's not a big airport. So if you're living if you're thinking about living where La Vera is, you don't have to worry about it being like the Hartsfield Atlanta International Airport with hundreds of planes landing every day. As you can see, they got one runway. They got one terminal, okay? They've got maybe 6 or 8 airlines that land here, but with one terminal and one landing strip, they ain't landing and doing a whole lot of landing. But so when you get to the airport, one good thing about it is you're not hanging out trying to spend 2 hours waiting on a flight or get through TSA and all that kind of stuff. And the airport isn't so big that you can't navigate your way through it. Now, again, La Vera down here, right down here. And remember when I pulled out and I went to get gas, you see that gray line that comes out? If you can see my cursor, that's the road that we were on, or that I was on. And if you were going to the grocery store, which is 5.5 kilometers away, let's see here. They're working outside. I hope that noise isn't coming through too much. But anyway, if you would take this road up here, go around the cloverleaf, and then take the road up. There we go. That main drag, it'll take you to the grocery store. So that's that one. Let's see here. Let me just do this real quick. Okay, so he stopped drilling. Somebody's drilling. And everything's made of concrete down here, guys. Everything's, what do they call it? Earthquake proof, right? So if you want to hang a picture, you need a drill. I mean, a sure enough masonry drill, okay? So right there is La Vera, okay? Down here at the bottom. And then if you go about 1.5 miles, Torre Real is right here, where it says Torre Real Hado Mayor. See that? Okay, so that's Torre Real. Now, if you want the nicer part of town, or you want to spend a little bit more money, then over here, this is where the monument is. In this area, there it is right there. There's the monument, okay? So that's how far out we were looking. And so you will want to move to the right of that to an area called Villa Olga, okay? Right here, okay? You're not going to get in there for probably less than $1,000 a month, but you could probably find some $800 a month stuff, but certainly $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, that's what you're going to be looking at. That little red dot there, that is where the primary or the main mall, Agora Mall, is, new mall they just built. And then this area here, over here, where it says Clínica Union Médica del Norte, over in here, this is where I go to Well Vets, and they've got some really nice places over there, guys. So I just wanted to share that with you guys so that you have an idea. Now, another very popular area is up here in Garabo. A lot of people move, and they move in this area down here. And then up here is where there is a botanical garden, which we're going to show you guys in an upcoming video. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. But anyway, that's Santiago, guys. That's what we got for you. Now, I hope this is helpful. Listen, if you want to see either of those places or others, just give me a shout out. Like I said, you can find my video, not my video, but my email address on the homepage of this YouTube channel. Just click on more, drop down, you'll see the email address. Just shoot me a line, say, hey, I want to see, the first one or the second one. It don't matter to me. It's your life, make it a good one. But that's all I got for you guys. I want to thank you for joining me. At the end of the day, like I said, it's your life, so make it a good one. All right, and I'll see you next time.